Hello there, grip friends. Yesterday got a little surprise in my mailbox. As everybody knows that's involved in grip for any length of time knows, I'm a collector of torsion spring hand grippers. Matter of fact, any type of hand grippers. And I've been collecting the Mash Monster grippers since 3 years ago. And up until yesterday, I had the Mash Monster 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Well, last year they added the 8, 9, and 10. And I got them in the mail yesterday from Wade, Gillingham at Gripper Superstore. And they're made by Warren Tedding over in Minnesota. Before I tell you a little bit about them, let me show them to you. Here's the MM8. There's that. There's the 8. Here's the MM9. These are replicas. They're not the ones that was sent to Bill Pache of the grip board. But they're made to the exact same specs. And finally, here's the MM10, the daddy of them all, which in my opinion, I don't think I'll live to see this one shut. I hope I'm wrong. There's some strong individuals out there. One of them happens to be my buddy Paul Knight. Let's see. Well, it's hard to get used to this camera. Can you see the... Well, there's the 10. I got it upside down. There you go. Okay. For those that don't know, here's the deal. Back in 2003, I think, the grip board come up with Mash Monster grippers, and it was a Mash Monster certification process. And it really encouraged people and motivated people to get better at grippers, because now they had something to shoot for, something to be rewarded for, which is a very good way. I mean, it's a very good idea. And the Mash Monster set is where the gripper, which obviously I can't demonstrate with these, that's way beyond my capabilities, but it's where you set the gripper with your other hand, and the handles, once they are parallel, you show on video to the judges that the handles are in fact parallel, and from that point, with your closing hand and the setting hand removed, you shut the gripper. If the handles touch and the judges say it's good, well, you certified on that gripper. When they first come out, they only had 3 grippers, the Mash Monster 1, 2, and 3. And the progression, the way Bill set it up, which I thought was pretty neat and a good idea, is he started with the 1, which is an elite spring, which is harder than a 3, and the difference in Mash Monster grippers and other grippers is they started with a known wire diameter, but what they did is the mounting depth from the handle to the bottom of the spring, they started at 1/4 of an inch, 250 thousandths. Okay, then when they went to the MM2, they decreased this gap by 1/16 of an inch. Okay, so that made it 3/16. Okay, then when it come to the Mash Monster 3, they moved up a wire diameter to the Super Elite, started back over at 1/4 of an inch gap, the mounting depth, went to the MM4, decreased this gap by another 1/16 of an inch, so it's back to 3/16. Okay, now Mash Monster 5, the spring diameter changed again. Okay, unlike Mash Monster 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, Mash Monster 5, 6, 7, and 8 all use a Grand Elite spring. It's 312 thousandths diameter, but the difference is the Mash Monster 5 started with a 1/4 inch mounting depth from the top of the handle to the bottom of the bottom of the coil, the bottom of the spring. Okay, then when it went to the 6, the gap was decreased by another 1/16. Then when it went to the 7, it was another 1/16. So that made it 1/8 of an inch. Now they come up with the 8, the 9, and the 10. Okay, now on the 8, it's still a Grand Elite spring. This is the 8. But the mounting depth is a 1/16. And the way I determine that is use these little hex wrenches. And the reason I use them, it beats fumbling around with a tape measure or a mic trying to get the distance right. So what you do, I took a 1/16 hex wrench, because it's already a known number. Well, I grabbed the wrong one. Anyway, I put it in between I put it from the top of the handle to the bottom of the spring, and the gap is just, I mean, it's perfect. Okay, and the handle spread on these, it comes out, they're just a little over 2 3/4 inches, which that's the specs that was required for these when these grippers was made. Now on the MM9, for the first time ever in the series of grippers, it had the widest or the biggest mounting depth to date, which is 5/16, and the spring diameter changed. So you had the 5, the 6, the 7, and the 8 with a Grand Elite spring. Now on the 9 and the 10, it jumps up to a pro level spring, which is 331 thousandths. Okay? Now on the MM9, here's a 5/16 hex wrench, and what you do is set it on the top of the handle where it's flat, and look, it's level, it's flush with the bottom of the spring. See, you got a known value here, and that's how you can tell that the mounting depth is correct. Okay, now on the MM10, it goes back to a 1/4 inch. Same thing. There you go. The mounting depth's a 1/4 of an inch. And it too has the Pro spring, which is 331 thousandths. So that's kind of a short story behind the Mash Monster grippers. Like I said, these are all replicas. All of mine are replicas. All of mine have MM on one handle and the number on the other. So I hope that, for those that didn't know, I hope that might have helped you. Hope you enjoyed this, because I sure enjoyed these grippers and getting them in the mail. I'm always real excited when I get grippers in the mail. So anyway, stay tuned, because I'm working on a video now of my entire gripper collection. And it's so extensive that I'm going to have to do 3 videos. I've got it all worked out. I think everyone will like it. And we'll just see what happens. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.